All right, folks. That looked like a real team out there. That looked like a team that can compete for the Pac-12 title. That looked like a team that deserves to be ranked on Monday. That looked like a team that might actually be able to make this season count for something. And obviously, we're only playing a handful of games this year, so it can't mean what we really want it to mean. But this looked like a really good team out there today. And I expected to win, but I didn't expect that. Don't let the final score fool you. Look at the box score of the quarter by quarter score, and you'll see the true story of this game. The Huskies were up 37 to nothing in the fourth quarter, and then Arizona, against a bunch of backup Washington defenders and also the backup Washington offense, was able to get some things going. But anybody who watched this game and anybody who actually checks the scoring drive chart will see that this game was complete domination on the part of the Huskies, and 44 to 27 doesn't even begin to do it justice. Not even close. So, what didn't go well today? I got one thing for you. I got one thing that didn't go well today, and it was special teams. We had a missed field goal. It was a 47-yarder. I'm not super triggered about missing a 47-yard field goal, but we also ran into the punter twice. Both times setting up Arizona to get a first down. One straight up gave Arizona a first down. The other set up a 4th and 1 that they were able to pick up. Other than that, this was pretty much a perfect game until garbage time. And of course, I'm annoyed we gave up 4 fourth quarter touchdowns, but whatever. Whatever, you know? If we're really going to complain about things like giving up 4 touchdowns when you put in all your backups, then we're doing well, because if that's the biggest thing you have to complain about, things obviously went well for you. So 44 to 27 with all those points for Arizona coming in garbage time. You could really call this game 37 to nothing and it would be more accurate. Dylan Morris, the stats are not dominant, but he showed me that he can actually be something special tonight. He showed me that he has the opportunity to be a really good college QB if he needs to be. He made some great throws tonight. He made some good decisions. He was able to make throws under duress when he was under pressure. He was able to fit the ball in. He made good decisions. He looked like a real QB who can be the reason why this team wins a game. He's not just a game manager like we were talking about a little bit last week. The stats are not dominant, but that was mostly because he didn't play in the fourth very much, and it was also because, well, the run game continued to be very dominant. It didn't necessarily start out that way, but by the end of the game, we had our running game going. 233 yards on the ground on 45 attempts. Newton killed it. Davis killed it. Pleasant killed it. McGrew had a decent game. We had a couple of receiver end-arounds and receiver jet sweeps. It all worked out really well for this team. Great stuff on the ground, but the most exciting thing was to see Dylan Morris complete some of those passes he threw, because some of those throws were big boy throws. Cade Otton, great game, 100-yard game. I didn't know he had that in him, but he looked like a great player today. Nasua only made one catch, but it was a special one, a 65-yard catch and run for the touchdown on the first drive of the game when things looked like they were about to go bad. I saw some good stuff from Jones. Bynum had a nice 20-yard catch. It was just a really nice game by this offense. Offensive line was fantastic. Morris got hit a couple times, but he never got sacked. Played a very, very solid game. I like what he did a lot in terms of having good pocket presence and standing tall in the pocket. And when the pocket broke down, he got out of there. So great stuff from this Washington offense. When the backups came in, we did have that one last touchdown drive. Sermon didn't really look comfortable. Whenever he didn't get the read he wanted in coverage, he just took off and ran for 2 yards, which is fine by me, but he's clearly the inferior QB right now. And I think that Morris tonight proved his stripes, even if he didn't throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. He did enough to prove to me that he's clearly the guy. And yeah, the offense, phenomenal. Defense, oh my God. I'm sad that this defense is not going to get full credit because of garbage time, but Gunnell looked like a kid whose dog had just been shot for a lot of this game. Gunnell looked incredibly depressed for almost this entire game, and we were hitting him, we were sacking him, we forced the early fumble. He wasn't able to complete his passes. Some of his throws just looked like wounded ducks. He was missing open guys. When he did find an open guy, he was frequently just missing it. It was a rough game for him. But this defense was locked in. They played pretty good against the run. They gave up a couple big runs, but for the most part, pretty good. I'm happy with the way the team played. I'm happy with the way we got pressure on Gunnell. Just a solid effort from this defense all around. I can't think of anything to single out other than the fact that we did get whistled for a couple of targeting calls. Only one of them was confirmed, but, you know, still, that's the stuff you notice in a game like this where everything's going great. You do tend to pick at the little stuff. But yeah, clean game by this D. We did everything right until garbage time when, quite frankly, a lot of our backups came into the game. I don't know how you can criticize any element of this team right now, except for maybe special teams. But this looks like a complete team right now. And I'm not saying we're going to win the Pac-12. I'm saying I have reason to believe that it's possible. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I can say about this one, guys. It was just such a good game. We jumped on Arizona immediately, went up 17-0. We had first and goal at the half-inch line, too, and we ended up kicking a field goal. So if we had managed to punch that one in like we would 99 times out of 100, then, well, it would have been even worse than that. We completely dominated the first three quarters, forced a key turnover to make sure the game got away from them early, and then... yeah, I'm struggling to think of what to say about this one because everything worked great. We ran the ball well. It took a while for the run game to get going, but once it did, it was great. The offensive line, phenomenal. Receivers made plays. There were a couple of drops, I will admit that. We had a couple of wide receiver drops again. That's maybe the worst I can say about this offense, but they made plays too. And yeah, I feel like the ceiling of this team has been redefined a little bit because Arizona is not a trash team. They're not. They should have beaten USC last week. They fought toe-to-toe with USC last week. This is not a terrible team. Might not be a good team, but it's not a terrible team, at least not by the standards of the Pac-12. So next week, we've got the Apple Cup against Wazoo. Hopefully it gets actually played, but we're going to find out more. We're going to be missing McKinney, I think, for the first half of that game, unfortunately, because of the targeting call. But, hey, right now, I'm going to feel good about where this team is headed. So... peace out, bound on to Washington. Halo stream coming up shortly. Stick around, guys. Give me a few minutes. We're going to finish Halo. We're going to do Among Us later tonight, too, so come and play with us. And, yeah, peace out, bow down to Washington. Big win tonight. The ceiling has been redefined.